Hey guys, welcome back to Entrance and Beyond. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. So, what does it take to go from a curious college freshman to actually building AI systems at a great tech company before even graduating? So, today's guest exactly did that. So, she's a computer science student at Cummins College of Engineering. She has done her internship as a data science intern at Dell. She's also taken part in a lot of hackathons. She was a Harvard delegate and she has volunteered in a lot of great events. So, Sanskruti Gangwal, welcome to the show. Hopefully, I didn't pronounce the last name wrong. Just yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
So, thank you so much, first of all, coming for taking some time and coming on the show. So, hopefully, you're doing well. And before we dive into the tech thing, I just wanted to talk about you on like a personal note, apart from all the technical details. So, who is Sanskruti Gangwal, and what's going on in your life as of now?
Okay, so beyond tech, I think I'm a really curious person. I tend to ask many why and how questions, and basically, again, moving into tech, like I love to ask to break down things and love to ask how things works and love to like network with people, join communities. So I think I'm a bit of on a curious side.
Okay. So before we go into the tech thing again, like I mentioned,
Mhm.
Steve Jobs had this very famous quote that you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. So I want you to take us back to your early journey before college. When did you decide that you want to, go into the tech world? How was your
Mhm.
initial experience when you got to know that, you've gotten into Cummins College of Engineering? So how were things when you were growing up? Was the curiosity something that you always had as a child? And yeah, how are you in studies and all of that before going to college?
So basically, in school, at school times, during school times, I was more academically inclined. I participated in a lot of Olympiads, NTSC, MTSC, through which I also got a chance to visit ISRO Center. And moving next, I loved maths. I loved solving maths problems, approaching a question with different answers and different approaches, methods. And fortunately, like in 8th, 9th, 10th, I got a mentor who guided me really well, and I have a family of doctors actually. So my father is doctor, my mother is doctor, grandfather is doctor. So they were expecting me to like take a career in medicine, but due to my inclination towards maths and I like love for maths, I decided to join engineering in 11th, 12th. So that got me in Pune like for JEE preparation. I was there for 2 years. Then I gave MSCT, and that's how like Cummins become a part of it, like through CET process.
Okay. So how was your experience walking into college for the first time? Because for us anyways it was very late due to COVID and all of that. But how
True.
the first year I think it was pretty much truncated, so we didn't really get a lot of time to explore
Mhm.
colleges, explore clubs and things like that. So how was your first semester, and did you know anything about data science? Like when you were in your first semester, did you know anything about data science or what you want to do over the
Yeah.
4 years?
No, no. Like when I joined, actually before joining, like the first semester, I did some courses, like basic courses of C, C++, Python. So it was through our a coaching institute which I had back in my hometown. So through that, the courses were done, but no idea about data science or such thing even existed. I don't think I've even heard about AI during those times, like during my first year. So it started like doing those courses in my first year, getting the fundamentals clear, core concept clear, and then I moved on. Like if you want me to share the second, third year journey, I can do that right now.
Yeah, sure. You can just take us through the entire journey, like year wise in brief, what you learned and how the experience was overall.
So during my first year, of course, like the fundamentals which were there for C and doing some mini projects, that was all which I explored. Is very new to the college life and very new to the fest and every idea of it. During my second year, it was more of I participated in SH Hackathon, the first ever hackathon which I participated in. It was a good experience overall. Like you get to learn a lot through hackathons. Then I moved towards during my second year, I explored like we had subjects related to core, so OS, DBMS, ML. Those subjects were detailed ones, and it was also needed for interview preparations. So I focused on those subjects. I did a bit of front end as well, like doing some courses related to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. and we built a whole like a DBMS system. We had this mini project related to DBMS. So in that we use the front end as well as back end. So that was a part of second year journey. Now moving on to third year, it was more of like third year was more of juggling between internships, coding round interviews, DSA preparations, and I was also part of a coding Nari group, which was like a community of 700 plus female members, where you are teaching them DSA, teaching them basic coding through scratch. That was all in my third year, and fortunately, I got the internship in my sixth semester. So the second semester of the third year, where I got my internship through Dell, and that's where it was sort of relaxing in the third year. So in fourth year, of course, it was more of the 6 months went on by internship, and right now we are in the.
Yeah. Now that you talked about coding, Nari, I really wanted to talk about women in tech, because in most engineering colleges there are a lot of males. We can't say that about your college at least, because it's totally 100% females. But I don't know,
Right.
like from being a woman in tech, what is the feeling? Because I'm a male, so I have no idea. But that's something that I've noticed. Even in our class, there aren't like, I feel like in most engineering colleges 20 to 30%, max maybe 50% some places. Most of the other people are like male. So how is it being a woman in tech, and what did you learn particularly from like being part in coding, Nari? If there's something that you remember, or something that you learned specifically from that organization, so as to say.
So coming towards your first question, like being women in tech, I think it's truly empowering because there are multiple women out there who support you and who have been through the same journey which you have been. So they know like what you are facing, and you can freely talk to them. Like I've been part of several communities, including GSK, which is like Indian community, and you have like mentors from all over India which are ready to help you. You can talk with them. So it's really empowering, and it's really like feels good when you are searching for them, and you exactly get those advices from them, and you can freely talk to them. Coming towards your next question about coding, Nari, so it was a really very random like decision where I just spoke to one of the girls from Google Girl Hackathon, and she was planning. She was our senior. She was planning to start this community where women can support women, and basically she needed consistency. So when we are talking about coding, it basically comes down to consistency, like doing regular practices. So in coding Nari, that's what we basically focused on, making sure the people there are regular with the coding. So start helping them start with Java, C++, even DSA. So we had regular meets and regular updates from them asking what they did today. So it was really great, like seeing the community grow into what it is today.
When was the first time you heard about like data science, AI, ML, and how exactly did you start? Because there's a lot of confusion when you're starting, especially in the age when we
Mm-hmm.
have AI. In our times, AI was just coming. Like ChatGPT was launched in
True.
2022, so it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
that large scale, or it wasn't that good. To be honest, but nowadays there's way too many resources. You have YouTube, you have people telling do this, do that, then you have ChatGPT. Half of the time it's telling you to do this, do that, and what happens is that we are just stuck in that cycle of thinking or planning that I'll do this, I'll do that, and we don't actually do something that was fruitful. So how did your journey start, and what would your recommendation be to anyone who wants to dive into these fields, so particularly data science, ML, and artificial intelligence?
Mm-hmm. Talking about my journey, it started in the second semester, like the second year, fourth semester. So we had MLS subject where, like, I was fortunate to have a great teacher who started with the basics of machine learning, who made sure the sessions are engaging and the teaching was really good. So from there, I think the interest started for machine learning. After that, in my third year, I took honors. Third, fourth year, I took honors in data science. So we had advanced subject like advanced machine learning algorithms and data visualization, Power BI, and those subjects as well. So from there, that was how my journey started, and I did some courses through Coursera or deeplearning.ai, and even of course YouTube is a full-time resource. So those courses helped me grow, and I also did a nano degree program from Udacity, which provided a 6 months course for a Python. So it had all those modules and live sessions weekly where you have to join in for 2 hours and you are given a task which you have to work on. So it's a live session where you are engaging with international students as well, and the teacher is international. So that was how I got into like AI and how I built my fundamentals and deep learning as well. Talking about like the recommendations which I would like if someone wants to start from basic, I think they should be thorough with the fundamentals of Python. So let's say loops and basic functions, what Python has, structures like list, tuples, dictionaries. Then you should move forward with the data cleaning part, so knowing more about your data, so how the data is cleaned, how the EDA exploratory data analysis, and then you can go towards the core concept. You also need some basic idea about linear algebra, statistics, probability to know more about how those algorithms actually work. So the core ML concepts like unsupervised, supervised learning, you can learn more about it. Then you have different models related to regression, clustering, and different classification models as well, which you can explore. So this all you can do through YouTube as well. You also have courses in Coursera by Andrew Wengs, and also Krishnayak video, which you can like. There is a playlist of Krishnayak which you can refer to. Then coming, you can actually do a lot of hands-on with ML, like building a recommendation system, prediction systems, classification systems, doing something which is a real use case and doing it from start to end. Like from the data building, you can pick up a Kaggle data set. You can build the data, you can experiment with data, do a EDA, and then you can start with choosing the model, why this model is chosen, and then you can experiment with different models and see which model performs good. You can check for the accuracy and different parameters related to it. So I think this from the start like related to Python and then doing the hands-on. And if you are moving towards like more deeper concepts related to deep learning, or you can refer to different courses again, like deeplearning.ai has really good courses in the it also provides notebooks simultaneously which you can work on. And then applied AI, which comes with like the enterprise, what exactly enterprise uses, like the RAG and agentic systems. So that's how you can start from the scratch with Python and then go towards core ML. Then you can do a bit of hands-on, and then you can go for DL. If you want to go for NLP, speech, like computer vision or something, you can go and dive into it, or you can go towards applied AI as well. So related to agentic and RAG systems.
Okay. When you talk about courses, first of all, I'd like to ask, you probably completed all those courses, right? Because something that I have observed with a lot of people is they
Mm-hmm.
register for a bunch of courses, but they end up not
True.
completing any one of them to entirety. Like they won't even complete
Mm-hmm.
10 to 15%. So how did you like go about doing these courses? Did you like take one course, complete it totally, and then move to another, or like what was the overall thing with the courses, and how did you learn? Like, did you take your own notes, or did you make like a lot of people make README files as well with the courses that they do? So how did you go about the courses? That would be my first question.
So I'll talk about two courses here. One is the Udacity program, which I talked about. So it is a 6 month whole program. It had very strict deadlines and schedule. It also had live sessions, so you have to make sure the course is complete to achieve the certificate as well. So it also has a community where you can engage with fellow users as well, those who are there in the course. So that way, it was like it had an active participation, and you are also doing it side by side. So you can simultaneously do the course and you can do the notebooks. It also had 3 projects, hands-on projects, so you need those projects completed to achieve the certificate. So that's how I managed like college and doing this course. So you have to be a bit consistent. You can attend those live classes specific to the Udacity, so it makes things interesting and keeps you like consistent. Coming to the Coursera course, what I did was actually we had ML as a subject. So most of the things which were there, like basic classification models or basic things which were there, I skipped those because, of course, I've done that earlier. But some of the things which were new, I jumped to those things, and that's how I learned. So it's not probably if you are like if you know those topics, you can skip those topics and you can move forward with the ones which maybe you are not fully confident in and maybe you're new to it.
Okay, so the main advice would be like look at the course and just study the new things at least. And a lot of people don't even do that.
Right.
They try to like go from the first lesson all the way to the last lesson, but you probably get bored in the initial one, especially when we know the basic concepts. Like most of the early lessons are like what is ML, introduction to ML, and all of that. And
Right.
most people in the second and third year probably have some basic idea about those concepts as well. So yeah, you talked a lot about hands-on, right? What were the projects that you made, and are there any
Mhm.
other cool projects that maybe that some of your friends might have made, or someone at the internship might have made, particularly in this field? So only talking about ML projects, data science projects, and AI projects, because it's very important to stand out nowadays as well. Uh, Even in on-campus opportunities, I think they probably judge you on the projects, and in the interview rounds, that is probably something that separates you, because everything else is very common. The courses will be the same, the CGPA will be around the same, the volunteering experiences are mostly similar. So yeah, what sort of projects should people build, and what did you build?
So talking about my internship experience, I built a RAG model based on the documents which we had in the Dell, internal to the Dell documents. So through that, I was able to build a presentation generation, like a complete system where you are taking those models and when you are generating a full-fledged 23 slides PPT. So that was one of the sort of cool projects which I built during my internship. But when I'm talking about like prior to the internship for resume, the projects which I built was multiple disease prediction. So predicting the disease based on symptoms. It might sound common, but what we did was we improved the metrics. We used five key parameter extraction. So using just five parameters, we were able to improve the accuracy and get it down to like 97%. So predicting three diseases like mainly the heart disease, Parkinson, and one more using those random forest model. That was one of the projects. And I've worked on different projects in the Udacity as well, and also uh, during different hackathons. I also built like email classification system where you are classifying the emails based for the different departments which we have in a company. So let's say if you have financial department or HR department, so you're classifying this emails based on those departments. So for that, I curated a different data set, like a whole data set of 200 emails, which are based on that, and that's how we built those models. So it used an NLP version, like different NLP techniques which were used in those in that system as well.
Okay. And how should one go about build, like how did you build the project? Because nowadays a lot of people just end up vibe coding the entire project at times, and they don't learn anything
Right.
new. But how did you go about it? Like, what was, if you just can maybe map out what you did at that point of time? Like, did you collect the data first, or did you, generate the idea first? How was the entire process of, creating that project, and then actually like putting it on GitHub or deploying it in some cases? So, yeah, a
Mhm.
bit about that.
So we always start with searching for a problem statement which we can work on along with the data set, because even if you have a problem statement, sometimes it could be that the data set is not available. So search for a data set simultaneously, and if you're looking for a problem statement, search for a particular domain. So be it healthcare, be it financial, where you want to have your the problem statement in. Then you can go towards dataset, find the dataset, proper dataset to train on, and then you can work on the models. Suppose, let's say if it's a classification model, then look for those models. If it's a regression, like if it's a prediction one, then go for regression models. And then you can actually work along, like experiment with different models, see which accuracy is better. Also related to data cleaning, you can do a full-fledged like EDA, you can plot the graphs. You can see if there is a missing value, you can replace those missing value. If you can find a mean, median, and replace those values. So that's how you can start with it, and that's how you can build with it. So searching, I think the problem statement and finding the appropriate data set would be the foundation of it, and then you can work simultaneously on models and data.
Okay. I want to now know about the opportunity that you got at Dell. So Dell was basically on campus for you. So if you can mention the eligibility criteria first of all, and you can start off with the first round, like what the first round was, and then we can go through the other rounds as well.
Right. So for Dell, of course, it was an on-campus opportunity. The basic criteria was because it was data science focused role, but they wanted someone with a data science experience, background. So they put a criteria where you have to be an honors student in data science to be eligible for applying to this opportunity. So that was the basic criteria. The first round revolved basically around it was like after the resume shortlisting, it was the manager round. So one of the manager came in, and it was more of a technical round which we had that day.
Okay.
We had more about coding round in Python, and then it moved on to a technical discussion revolving around my project. So what I built, why I built, the models which I chose, and how the model exactly works. So the one which I was working on was random forest. So he asked me to explain how random forest actually works. Then moving on next, he asked me to if you have any questions. So I answered like around like how does the ChatGPT works, I think. So he explained like we went into a discussion about transformer architecture, and it was a cool discussion where we discussed how the word prediction takes place in a transformer. So that's how the first round
And I think we understand from that that it's not just an interview, right? You can say that it's important to make it into a discussion, and that is what I've heard from a lot of people
ended.
in big places. Is that the interview it's not like a viva session where it's not back and forth where they're just asking a question and you're answering. And I think your curiosity might be a reason that they probably saw the temperament, and they saw the fact that yeah, this girl is curious, so she can even learn new things. So yeah, so this was basically the first round, right? So what was the second round? And yeah, you can just talk about the second round and some advice regarding the second round that you had.
Mhm. So second round was technical as well, where we dived more into the resume. He was a senior manager working from US, and he went through my resume. He went through the projects which I did again, and we talked more about curricular activities. So being a part of Coding Nari or the courses which I did, and so it was more focused on the resume rather than a technical round. So he was
Okay.
more interested in the things which I did, like curricular activities as well, the volunteer thing, and participating in different conferences. So those were the things which he was more interested in.
Okay. And then after that, it
Mhm.
was probably the HR round, right? The last round.
Right, right.
Yeah.
The
So do you
last one was
remember
HR round.
anything about the HR round, like the questions that were asked, and how should one, prepare for that? Because sometimes a lot of people they're really good
Mhm.
technically, but they fail in the HR round due to a number of reasons. So, how was your experience, and what should people do to prepare for it? And how did you personally prepare for the HR round if you prepared at all?
So the thing was, I was not sure like whether we would be having an HR round or not. So we
Okay.
had two rounds in a day, and the next day, like there was no confirmation from their side about the rounds and selections. And like the evening, the later day, we got an email through HR saying that we have a round at 7 p.m. So I was not aware of it. I got a call through HR saying he has joined the meet and you need to join the meet. So it was like I was completely caught off guard. But then I think the most important part in HR is communication. You have to be clear about exactly where you stand, what you are, who you are, and about your hobbies, interests. So they are very primary, basic questions, but you have to make sure that you communicate well. Whatever you are saying is the manager is able to get through it, and I think that is it. It's a pretty
Okay.
simple round, but you have to make sure you are able to communicate well.
Okay. So you said that they asked about co-curriculars and all the conferences that you attended. So what was like the first conference that you? A lot of people they're very you can say nervous or shy, so they don't end up taking part in these conferences and co-curricular activities. So what was the first co-curricular activity and first conference that you took part in, and how was that entire experience of going to a conference or taking part in a club for the first time?
Mm-hmm. So co-curricular activities was actually one of the Wings magazine, which we have, like a magazine which we have in our college. So it's a Wings magazine where we are conducting interviews of different people. So I went there and I took part. Like I gave them an interview for an interview team as well as the content team. So that's where I got into those clubs, and that's where I met different seniors and people. This was one of the first co-curricular activity which I joined in during in my first year during my college. Talking about conference, it was a GSCI in Bangalore last year in 2024. So I got an opportunity to be a part of it, and I also had one of my friends traveling to Bangalore at the same time. for the conference. So we were able to participate. We got to meet a lot of, because GSCI is focused on women community. We got to meet a lot of women who are working in Bangalore and working in different locations. We got to opportunity to talk to different companies and their heads and their management as well, exactly what they're working on. And a lot of sessions were arranged as well related to AI, cybersecurity. So it was a whole lot of different experience going into a conference, attending that 2 day conference, networking with people. You could be a bit shy, like even I was shy the first time I went in, but uh, like you just need to speak up. I think at conferences people are very helpful because they have been like they are at that environment and you get to ask them multiple questions which you have. So they are really, like you can actually ask them a lot of questions during the conference as well. It's really helpful.
Okay. So you took part in a lot of hackathons such as Google Girl Hackathon, Walmart's Hackathon,
Mm.
American Express's Hackathon. So how was that experience and how important are hackathons overall? And what is the biggest lesson that you took from, taking part in these hackathons overall?
Mm-hmm. I've participated through different hackathons like Google Girl Hackathon, MX, and even Walmart Hackathon. The experience has been really great because when you are actually looking, like when you are working through a college project, you are basically focused on adding more of features. So adding multiple features, but when you are working through a hackathon, you take it from a user perspective as well. How much this feature would be useful to a user, and how easy would it be for the user to handle it, and different levels are like different. You judge it based on different levels. So I think hackathon basically for team collaboration as well. Like you get to talk with a lot of team members. You get to discuss a lot, and you get to see how a project actually works. So it was really important, like being a part of the team, collaborating with them, juggling between like different like college as well as this hackathons. So it was really a good experience.
Okay. So Michael Dell himself once said that try never to be the
Mhm.
smartest person in the room, and if you are, I suggest you invite smarter people or find a different room. So that's probably the room that Sanskruti walked in when she went to Dell for the first time. So
True,
let's
I can
dive into
relate to
that
that.
the journey as well. So first of all, what was your reaction when you first got the Dell offer? Because it's the first offer that
Mhm.
you got in a big company. Your parents were probably really happy. Friends are really happy. So I want to talk about that. Like, when did you get to know about the selection, and what was the reaction that you had inside you?
After the HR round, I was like sort of sure that I would get an offer. I was really happy. So basically, I wanted to two things. I wanted to go to Bangalore to explore like the city as well. It's known as the tech city, so of course you sometimes like aim to be there. And I it was a 6 month span, so it was really a good span for me to learn new things. So I was really happy. Like the data science role was good, the 6 months period was good, and the city was good as well, like Bangalore. So the reaction from my friends and family was, of course, it was really excitement, nervousness, and happiness as well. And yeah, so it was like a mix of everything.
Yeah. So I want to ask, what was your biggest learning from Bangalore? Because, like Bangalore, it's really a tech city. So you probably learn a lot from cities as well. Like different cities have different cultures. Like you can talk about like New York in in the United States, or you can talk about California and things like that. They have their very own experience. So different state, a different city. So what is the best thing about Bangalore, or something that you took from living in Bangalore for 6 months?
Uh, Living in Bangalore for 6 months, actually, uh, more of, I think there are many opportunities which we have in Bangalore to explore. So there are park meets which are going tech meets which are going on in park on Sundays. There are different conferences which are arranged in Bangalore. So I think the most important is you take part in it. You go out and look for those groups and those people which you can join and which you can meet during those times as well, like Sunday, Saturday, on the weekends. So I think that is one of the cool things which Bangalore has to offer.
Okay. So when you went to Dell, as you mentioned, you built a RAG project that was for PPT generations, correct? So you were able to get a
Right, right.
23 slide detailed PPT. And so,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, so how was the learning in that project? Because you probably learned a lot of new things that you hadn't really dealt with before in college, and it might be fast at times, right? I expect that a lot of times when you join the internship, you have to grasp a lot of things. It's a new organization. You don't know the people there. You don't know what you're supposed to build. So yeah, how was that first month like, and what were the new things that you got to learn initially and over the entire 6 months period of time?
Fortunately for me, it was not like a very hectic start. I was assigned a mentor, I was given time to settle in, and then we started somewhere where I was assigned a project. So my mentor was the one who was working earlier on that project. It was a POC, like the proof of concept, which we were working on to see if it actually works, like the rack-based presentation generation system. So it was a good start. The mostly the first few weeks were more of onboarding and getting access to different things like GitLab, Jupyter Notebook, etc. And that's how it was. I was involved in meetings. I was made familiar with the tech stack which they were using, basics of RAG, how it worked. I was given time to go through the courses, and after I was able to grab some new things, I was shifted to the core project.
Okay. So, what was something very unexpected or something that surprised you regarding what how they use AI, or real world AI, how they actually use them in companies? Because when you're a student, there's a lot of material on YouTube, right? So you have a certain expectation that companies probably build on this or build on that. So was this something that sort of caught you off guard, so as to say, or something that you thought would be kind of different in an organization, and it turned out to be completely different? Particularly talking just about purely AI or RAG, you can say.
So RAG was a word which actually I've heard later in the like during the internship. It is not something I've worked on earlier, so it was completely new for me. And talking about like something new, which something different, which I think was there technically. Uh, I generally thought AI was more about classification, prediction, regression because you never move forward with different tech stack. Like I was not much more involved in Gen AI. But when I went there, I explored much new concepts related to Gen AI, how LLMs are being used, how they are trying to make the system autonomous, like from the manual efforts, manual things which they were working on. They are trying to make the systems autonomous or semi-autonomous, just a human in loop. So that was completely new to me, making more of those autonomous system, making it work based on agents. So that was something that was completely new.
Okay. Was there a hard technical problem that you remember, or during your internship, or something that you really got stuck in? And how did you eventually like get out of that? And what was the lesson you learned from that? Because in any project, there's at times you're really stuck, you're really confused, right? So yeah, how did you like get out of that, if you can recall? And what was the lesson you took out of that, solving that error or technical issue?
So after working on this presentation generation, like the system, I worked on for like 2 months. I shifted to improve their the systems which they had. They had one of the chatbot which they were working on, and they needed it to improve the latency as well as accuracy of the system. So it was also a rack-based chatbot. So for that, I was experimenting with different chunking strategies and different indexing strategy. So I took one of the HNSW indexing. I experimented with it, and then I did around like 90 hyperparameter different validations. So like making 90 sheets and making like going through the data set, going through the golden data set and validating it again and again. So it was really like I would say a mundane task to say. It was like a repetitive task, but it taught me a lot, like how to do the validations, how to actually see where the AI hallucinate, where it is providing the correct answers, where it is providing the wrong answers, and if it's improving the system latency or accuracy. But at the end, the results were okay, like as compared to what they were earlier. So it was, although it was not adapted to their systems, but I learned a lot from doing those validations and
Okay.
going through those experiments.
Okay. So, Sanskriti, throughout the podcast, we've talked about seniors, and it's very important to network within your college, especially, and outside of your college, because even during placements, there are a lot of things that your seniors know regarding the entire process, the companies that come, what sort of questions are asked, so you can really learn from them. So first of all, what is the best advice that a senior has given you, or if you want to name that senior? And yeah, but first we can start off with that, the best advice that you got from your senior.
So the best advice would be like being consistent throughout. If you're starting coding, or if you're starting a new course or anything like diving into a new tech stack, be consistent. So start from basics, but dive deep into it and make sure you are practicing it regularly. So that was one of the advices that have helped me so far. And talking about networking, I think your seniors are really important when you are in college. It's a person whom you can talk to about anything. You can ask doubts, be it night, be it day, during any time. So, like, get connect with that person. Make sure you have that one of those senior whom you can talk to during your internships, during your placements, and even ask for advice related to anything you want in the college, like which group to join, which coding clubs or which clubs to join in, or where to focus. Maybe it is maybe you should focus on DSA. You should start through web development or ML. So have that senior through your in your network whom you can actually talk to freely.
Okay. And what is the best hack to, connect with seniors? Because a lot of people, they're very scared. They have the typical, college mindset that the movies have made, that the seniors are only there for ragging and all of that. And I don't feel like that is a reality, especially in
It
like in
is
Pune.
not.
I haven't heard of all of that. So yeah, what is the best hack or best way to, engage with the seniors, and yeah, how should you interact with them overall?
Uh, so for me, during my first year, we had this group of senior. So the admins were senior, and all the juniors were joined in, and whatever the materials which we had for required during the first year was shared in that group. So I directly WhatsApp the admin which was there, which was a senior, and I told her that I'm in my first year and I'm looking what exactly to do, because of course in first year you are sort of confused where to start. So
Correct.
I asked her about those advices and those things, and that's how the conversation started. That's how the bond built it gradually. And after that, I came to know she was there in hostel, the same hostel which I lived in, and we connected offline as well. And from there on, it became a frequent meetings, a frequent catch up, hi, hello. And I think that's how you can gradually build those connection. And I'm still in contact with her. I do message her saying how is your journey going on, how you are. She's there in Pune as well. So
Okay.
it is really helpful to have that one senior whom you can actually connect to.
Okay. So now let's move to the rapid fire round where I'll ask a question and you
Mhm.
just have to answer it off the top of your mind.
Yeah.
So the first question is, what's your favorite programming language?
Java.
Okay, it's kind of surprising given the fact that you're in data science and you like Java more.
Yeah.
Okay,
So basically, I've worked more on DSA side. Python is of course fun, and I love using Python. But when you are talking about technically, it's easier to code in Java for DSA coding rounds.
correct.
So
Okay, okay. What's the
mhm.
favorite AI tool that you cannot live without, if there is any such tool?
Still now it's ChatGPT because I've been using it on regular basis. But depends on the use case which you have. Like if you're going into research area, you can go for Perplexity. If you have something else, you can go with the other tools. But for now, like I'm doing most of the things with ChatGPT.
Especially for your exams, I feel like I was just thinking the other day that if chat GPTs or another these LLM suddenly go down, half the people would end up failing in their exams because
Exactly.
no one even
Exactly.
buys the books and all of that. The late night studies
Hmm.
with chat GPT for your exams and all of that. Chat GPT is probably
True.
bored in India as well because it's like the exact same thing. Half of the people are just asking, describe that, differences, advantages, all of that. Okay.
Yes, yes.
What's your favorite code editor? Is it VS Code or something else?
Mostly VS Code, like for the web development part or some of the ML heavy stuffs. But then, if not, like if you want to code more of Python, then Google Colab.
Okay. What is your favorite club and why? This might be not controversial, but hard to think about because you're a part of the favorite a lot of clubs. So, what was your favorite college club and why?
Okay, it would be a code club because I was engaged in code club for long.
Okay.
ACM was good as well. Like we participated in a lot of events and activities were held. So both of the clubs were good.
Okay. What
Mhm.
is the best event that you ever attended? And what is the best memory that you have of any event like outside your college? Like if you attended some
Mm.
event. Yeah.
So recently I attended a GSCI conference as a volunteer. So earlier I attended as scholar and this year I went in as volunteer. I went in alone. I was not expecting like to relate with most of the people there, and I was not expecting much to network. But luckily, I got to meet a lot of people, and I got to network with them, talk about their journey, how what exactly they are working on. So it was a whole lot of fun working as a volunteer, going through different booths and asking them if they have any issues, or even attending sessions, webinars. So it was really good.
Okay. Best memory from your Dell internship. So it can be a technical memory or a get together or something like that. That really um, yeah, that you remember.
So during my Dell internship, I have a habit of keeping diary with me. So whenever we have meetings or daily reviews, I tend to write those points in my diary. So one of those times, my manager saw me writing those points in my diary, and he asked me to write MOM, like share the minutes of meetings and action items to the through the email to everyone. And from then on, it has become a habit that I'll be the one who would write the MOMs and action items during the meetings, and I would share it with everyone. So during those 6 months, I was the one sending those things and communicating with the team likewise. So it is one of the memorable moments that still stays with me.
Favorite topic in AI and a topic in AI that you hate or you're kind of bored about hearing.
Okay. I wouldn't say I have such a topic which I'm really bored about because most of the things are really interesting.
Correct.
But learning more about like the attention mechanism and transformer architecture, really love to dive more deep into it.
Yeah, and for folks
Mhm.
watching the podcast, I think Jay Almer or someone has this Transformer Illustrated. It's a book and blog as well, so you can check that out. It's a very good, well-written blog that, like, if you go through it once, you'll
Mhm.
understand the entire attention mechanism and how
Yeah.
how a transformer basically works, and it's pretty cool. Because once you
Mhm.
understand a transformer, then you can dive into understanding how ChatGPT works and things like that. Which life do you prefer, the hostel life or internship life?
Truly a difficult question, actually. Like, I miss when I'm in hostel, I miss the internship life. When I was there in internship, I miss the hostel life.
Yeah,
But I think I would miss this more, of course. Like, it has been 4 years I was there in hostel, I was there in college. There's a lot of memories, lot of friends. So I think I would miss this one more.
okay. So, what is
Mhm.
your favorite tech location? Like, you probably like you've mostly been in Bangalore. So, apart from Bangalore, if you had a dream tech location anywhere in the world, where would you like to work?
I think that would be Silicon Valley. I would love to go there and like, work in those areas.
Okay. And for the last question, one thing that you tell yourself in the first year, and yeah, and you tell anyone who's just joined engineering.
Mhm. I think be curious, be an explorer because when you're first year, you have a lot of time, a lot of opportunities which are coming in your way. Be it a scholarship which are funded, be it different, not exactly hackathons because in first year you are more of new to those things, but participate in different club activities, participate in different events, and make sure you explore, make sure you network because that is the time you would get the most of it. So I think that is one of the things that I would really like to advise our juniors.
Okay, so I'd like to end the
Mhm.
podcast on a note that what Einstein had said, that he said that imagination is more important than knowledge. But after this conversation, I can say that you had plenty of both, so like curiosity, imagination, as well as the technical knowledge. Sanskriti, thank you so much for sparing time on my podcast. It was really cool knowing your journey and knowing things from the technical things as well, knowing how you went into college, what you did over there, what were your learnings, how you network, and it was overall a very good journey to uh, learn from. And before we where we wrap up, where can people find you online, and Yeah. So how can people reach out to you as well? Because you're a part of a lot of these mentorship sort of things. So if anyone wants to reach out to you, like after the podcast, what would be the best platform? I'll mention the link for that.
Sure. So you can freely reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm available, and you can ask me. You can DM me simply saying hi. And if you have any questions, you can. I'm truly really. I'd love to network with people, and I'd love to answer those questions. So you can freely reach out to me on LinkedIn as well.
Okay. So once again, thank you so much. It was a real
Thank
pleasure
you.
for
Thank you so
hosting
much
this.
for inviting me here, and it was really lovely, like talking with you and sharing the journey as well.